What would you do if you had 28 lakhs in your bank account? Well, here's what I would do. I would say hello to this, the Desh ka flagship Loha. This right here is a 2024 Tata Safari Adventure Plus Dark Edition Diesel Manual. Before starting off with the video, the features, etc., let's just take a moment to appreciate that the design of this car is just menacing. Get up close with it and you notice that these lights actually do look a lot better than what the previous generation Safari's lights did. And of course there is also a Safari badging, and then there is this beautiful grille which actually does look closed from a distance, but when you come close you can actually have a good look at the radiator of the car. Get even closer and you realize that this car is actually very well equipped with features, with necessary features like front parking sensors, 360-degree camera, a front parking camera, because well, if you are driving a car this big, you definitely need some extra amenities to support your driving. Come to the side profile and you realize that the car follows a very modern approach in terms of design over here as well. This raised roof design element is a traditional Safari element, and then these 9-10-inch alloy wheels which are wrapped in 245 section rubber, which do have a 55 profile, so you have to be a little careful on rough roads. More about that later. Keep aesthetics aside and you realize that the car does not have a request sensor for the passenger side, which kind of might disappoint some people. Talking about the back, you do have these beautiful tail lights which actually are connected. While the indicators are integrated into the tail lamp, the reverse lamp gets a separate assembly down in the bumper. The rest includes a minimalistic Safari badging, a rear parking camera, a rear wash and wipe, and of course a rear defogger as well. If this was the top spec Tata Safari, it would have an electric boot release over here, but since it does not have it, we will manually close it. Now that we have decided to discuss the interior, well, you open the door to the rear seat and you enter. It is not a lot of effort to get inside this car, and you are home to a good amount of leg space, a good amount of headroom. Of course this is a Safari. The seats do have nice bolstering all around, and of course it also has a rear armrest. Of course since this is a Safari, it also has another room which you open the access to like this. You get into it, you basically climb into it. It is kinda a task, and once you finally get in, well, my knees are high up and I do not have a lot of leg room. So yeah, like a typical 7-seater SUV of this segment, this is also not a very nice place. But despite the lack of space for the third row passengers, you do get a fair bit of amenities like this light LEDs, and of course you have charging sockets type A and type C, and you have straight AC vents, and of course seat belts adjustable. To get out of this space, which of course you would want to, pull this lever, the seat folds down, you pick it up and you run for your life. I might be able to record this, but this is not going to be very good footage. So yeah, it is a task. Closing it again is pretty easy. You just have to do this and never talk about that back seat. Instead, what you could do with the third row is to find the lever, pull it, find the lever, pull it. Now of course these are not closing 100% because there is some man over there, but once these close fully down, this will open up a boot space of around 420 to 450 liters. I'm not very sure, but yeah, that is a big boot space. And if you do not need 7 seats, well, this is the correct usage of the Safari third row. My favorite part about every car, of course, is this, the driver's seat. And what you get on the door are these controls for the mirror. Objects in the mirror are fast, and of course this chunky grab rail these nice plush premium door handles, and of course this, actually the material is very good. I mean, there's a soft touch everywhere, you know. Even this, the plastic quality is very good. And of course the door third. So what else do you get for 28 lakhs? You get ambient lighting here, ambient lighting here, ambient lighting over here, which gets activated when the sunshade is completely closed. And of course this is the controls for the sunroof. There is this passenger airbag off switch in case you do not like your passenger. And of course the touchscreen is now 10.25 inch unit. Along with it you get this very good digital driver's display. And of course there's also the screen, although I'm not a big fan of touch screens all around the car, but yeah, that is what gets you more aesthetics, more looks, more appeal. So yeah, this is definitely a step in the positive direction. You also get push button start. Getting to more serious things, a terrain response system, electronic parking brake with auto hold function, a cooled glove box with charging sockets for both type C and USB A, and of course there's also a wireless charger, which is kind of difficult to reach, but yeah, it is there. What you still get though is a manual gearbox, which is not present in many modern cars like the Innova Hycross. And now you start moving. Turning on the lights. The lights actually do have a great throw all around. As you expect from Tata, the cars are very well planted. This is of course a Land Rover D8 platform based car. So yeah, the high speed stability is actually good. Of course we are not at high speeds, but yeah, the high speed stability is good. It takes bumps very well. Now there's one thing though, and that is due to the 19-inch wheels, the ride is a little stiffer. You need to be careful with those rims, but otherwise this is a very solid car, a very good highway cruiser. And of course now we are shifting to 6th gear, and the car is literally effortless. Okay, the car is telling me to downshift. Pin the accelerator down and it picks up instantly. The 170 horsepower 350 Newton meter engine comes to life. The clutch action is on the heavier side. Talking about the gear shifts, they do have a fair bit of travel, but the gear shifts are immaculate. The gates are well defined, so you do not end up misjudging the gear pattern. So yeah, you do shift very well. The shifts are effortless, very smooth, going to 90 kmph. And in case you want to blind other people, well yeah, you do have LEDs for that. The brakes, talking about the brakes, they are also good enough. I don't know, I might be expecting a little bit too much, but yeah, I think there is something wrong with my braking. Okay, what also you get is when you turn the indicator, you get this monitor which helps you tell that yes, it is safe to change lanes. Coming back to my lane, of course it is on the right side as well. It is basically a package of part of the 360-degree camera package. Okay, now let's demonstrate the best part about this car, and what that is how this car, despite being this big, despite being this heavy, does not feel like a big car at all. Look, the steering wheel can be turned with one finger. Okay, so taking a U-turn is actually very easy. EPS does help a lot. The hydraulic power steering is not missed because yeah, the steering is light, and at highway speeds it gets a lot of feedback to you. Now one problem I have with this car though is that the engine is loud. This might be a little expected from a 2-liter diesel engine, but I think that Tata might have some space to do something better in the regards of engine refinement. Otherwise, this is a brilliant unit. The 2-liter Kyrotech engine, which apparently is a 2-liter multi-jet diesel, is shared with the MG Hector, the Jeep Compass, and of course, like a typical Indian highway, we have trucks parked on the expressway. But yeah, even while taking curves at higher speeds, this car does not have a lot of body roll. So yeah, thumbs up to Tata on that. So talking about other parts of the car, the visibility is actually good all around. The ORVMs are large. The blind spot monitors do help you a lot. And then there is of course this rear view mirror, which is again does a good job. Though there are thick D pillars, the last row pillars are thick, so they do restrict the vision a little bit, but yeah, overall the cameras do help a lot. What do you get for 28 lakhs in terms of driving experience? You get a car that is 5-star crash test rated, it has 6 airbags, it has lots of safety control features like ESP, hill hold, you name it, and this car has it. Of course, it is a Tata. You do not get a 5-star crash test rating by being lethargic about safety. Other factors for the 28 lakh price tag include a lot of features: this massive panoramic sunroof, the ambient lighting, the brilliant AC, and of course the music system. I have not tested. I mean, I do have listened to the music, but of course due to copyright issues I will not play it. So yeah, overall this feels good. This feels like a good car for your 27 to 28 lakh rupees. Should you buy it over the Scorpio? Okay, so the Scorpio versus Safari argument has been there since decades. But then there is a simple solution to that in today's day and age. If you want a more premium experience, you get the Safari. If you want a more hardcore experience, you get a Scorpio. It is as simple as that. Of course, it used to be a lot more complex in the older days, but Tata has made this issue a lot more easier. So as far as 28 lakh rupees on road are concerned, I think if you want a plush experience all around, right from the design, you want people to recognize the car, you want yourself to be comfortable inside, you want to not have a lot of rough road usage, you want to have a lot of space, you have the tendency to use the last row more than the boot, I think this car is alright. Should you buy it? I think yes.